What's going on, guys? My name is Shaan Parvaga, and if you guys are watching this, that means you guys are probably interested in our Amazon automation service, our done for you service, okay? So where you can make money completely hands-free, okay? So this information has changed my life. It's changed a ton of other people's lives that are already using this service. Everyone's been happy with the service, so we're making this video so that way I can explain to you guys in detail on exactly how this all works, okay? So if you're not sure with what dropshipping is in general, feel free to go to our website, dropshipperzwithaz.com, to check out my video where I explain exactly the way our method works, okay? So Amazon automation. So before I get into how all of this works, I do want to explain that my business partner Majid and I have been in this game for about 2.5 years now, and it hasn't always been easy. Whenever we first started, I spent my very last penny just to learn how all of this worked. So just to get mentorship on this information. And whenever we first started, we were doing this manually all by ourselves. And whenever we were doing it in the beginning, we would spend 3 to 5 hours every single day. And to go from that to now, where we have multiple accounts doing well over 6 figures, completely hands-free, is completely mind-blowing. So this information completely changed my life, so I know it can do the same thing for you. So when it came to this automation service, I want you guys to understand that we literally put our heart and soul in this just to make sure that we're going to offer the very best service out there. Because I know some of you guys might be in my shoes back in the day, where you're trying to spend your very last penny, your very last dollar that you have into this, hoping it would work. And I want you guys to understand that I don't take that very lightly. For you guys to put your hard-earned money and trust into us, like, that means a lot. And we want to make sure that whatever we're offering is going to be the very, very best. So we went out there and spent countless hours making sure that this service that we're offering is going to be the very, very best out there. And we're going to continue to learn and adapt to make it even better and better as we go along. So to get right into it, the way it works is right now, the cost of our automation service is $20,000. So it's $20,000 up front. And what that does is it allows you to have the service and the team. Okay, it's a one-time cost. There's no yearly fees or anything like that. And so up front, it's $20,000, and then the team does everything for you from A to Z, okay, completely done for you. So they do everything from A to Z, everything from finding the profitable items for you, to listing them up to your Amazon store, to processing orders, to processing returns, to doing any customer service, everything from A to Z, to even doing spreadsheets for us just to help us keep organized. So what the team aims to do is get the account to 100K plus a month around the 6 to 8 month mark, doing about 10 to 20% profit margins, okay? So there's a couple things I do want you guys to understand before obviously getting the automation service. So like, one of the first things is like, this isn't a get rich quick thing, okay? It does take time to scale up your store, okay? So I want you guys to understand the first 3 months that you actually start selling on Amazon is a test period, okay? So Amazon's like, okay, who's this new guy trying to sell on our platform? They want to know that, one, you know what you're doing, and two, that you can keep your customers happy and satisfied, right? Because that's Amazon's biggest thing. So during that first 3 months of you being a new seller, that's a testing phase for you. So during that first 3 months, what we're doing is we're building credibility and we're boosting your metrics, okay? So that first 3 months, don't expect too much, okay? Honestly, you're still gonna get sales, of course, but be patient, okay? So there's actually an issue where we can grow your account too big too fast, okay? And we don't wanna risk growing your account too fast and getting your account flagged, so that way you can make a quick buck. So we wanna actually raise it gradually and slowly in the beginning so we can build that credibility with Amazon. So that way, around the 4 month mark, after that first 90 days, it can be a little sooner, it can be a little bit later, but right around that time period, once Amazon sees that you, one, know what you're doing, and two, can keep your customers happy and satisfied, they reward you with what's called buy box. And just to kind of give you guys an idea of how crucial buy box really is, 80% of all sales that happen on Amazon happen through the buy box. And whenever your account gets buy box qualified, that's when things really start to like 10x, okay? And so that's when we really start to scale. So right around the 4 month mark is when we really start to scale, okay? So think of this as like a franchise. There's people out there that invest hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars into a franchise, and they put in so many hours into that business trying to make it profitable, and then don't even expect to see a return for so many years, if they even see a return, right? Whereas over here, it's a one-time investment, and after about 5-6 months, you end up turning a profit. Sometimes maybe sooner, sometimes a little bit later, but right around that time period, you end up turning a profit, and everything's just completely hands-free, so just think of it like that. So in my opinion, I think this is one of the best investments that somebody can make right now, And so another thing that people always ask is, can this be saturated? Is this saturated? The industry of e-commerce is getting bigger and bigger, right? Amazon hasn't even reached their peak. E-commerce hasn't even reached their peak. You see all these major retailers shutting down slowly and slowly, and so more and more people are starting to shop online. So one thing to understand is that you will need to use your own capital to fund this business, okay? So what I mean by that is whether you have a credit line or your own capital to play with, you will need that in order to fund the business, because Amazon pays out every 2 weeks. So you need to use your own capital to process orders until Amazon pays you that out every 2 weeks, okay? So in order to sustain a $100,000 a month store, then you would need minimum $35,000, okay? Ideally, you'd really want $50,000, but there's services out there that actually allow you to get paid out every day or every other day if you need to, instead of every 2 weeks, so that way you can actually recycle your capital a lot quicker, okay? But the only downside to using those services is that they actually take a percentage of the money that you get paid out, okay? And those percentages do add up, and it's a pretty decent sized chunk. So it's not something that you want to use forever, but some money is better than no money, right? We've actually used these services ourselves, and again, some money is better than no money, but it's something that you don't want to use forever, okay? So ideally, you'd want like 50,000 and plus, but you know, having 35,000, you can make it work, okay? Now, again, that's to sustain 100,000 a month store, $100,000 a month store. In the beginning, you're obviously not going to be doing that right away. So in the beginning, you'd want to start with like 5 to 10,000. If you have something like that to start off with, that's totally fine. And then, you know, if you want to keep reinvesting your profits to keep scaling up, that's probably a good idea. Or if you want to, you know, build your credit line, that's a good idea as well. But again, it's going to take about 6 to 8 months to even get to that point. So, you know, just keep doing what you can to get it up to that point, and then we'll build the account with what you have to use, if that makes sense. So we'll build the account with whatever capital you have to play with. So another thing to understand is that every account is going to grow at its own pace. We don't mix and match products between multiple accounts, because every account, it has its own set of VAs attached to it. And we have a system where we find profitable items through different tools and softwares that we have, but there's millions of products online that are profitable. So our team is just looking for those profitable items, and there's going to be, you know, those profitable items are going to be scattered through all these different accounts. And because of that, you know, every account's going to grow at its own pace. So some are going to be a little bit slower than others, some are going to be a little faster than others, but ultimately everyone's going to get to the finish line. So just so you guys understand the setup process, if you're in the US, the whole setup process takes maybe like a week and a half. So the first thing you're gonna need is an LLC. That's probably gonna take you the longest. So once you have that, then you guys can actually reach out to us and get the process started. That will actually make the process a lot faster. So once you have your LLC, the whole process probably takes like a week or a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks at most, okay? So right around that time period, okay? So if you're international, the process is actually a little bit different, because we have to get you set up with all US information. So that process is actually about 30 to 60 days. And that's why it actually costs a little bit more as well, because it costs money to get all that set up. It's gonna take about 30 to 60 days to get that set up. And then you guys can start the US process, which again is about another week or week and a half, 2 weeks, okay? So with all that being said, there's actually only a certain number of clients that we can take on per month, because our ultimate goal is to offer the very best service out there, and we're not going to jeopardize quality just to make a quick buck. So there's a certain number of clients that we can take on per month, and we will not go over that number, okay? So I want you guys to understand that this is something that, you know, we're really putting our heart and soul behind to offer the very best service out there, because I know there's kids out there that are going to be investing into this. There's going to be moms out there that are putting in their very last dollar into this, and we want to be the reason why they have an extra income coming into their household to be able to allow them to do what they want, when they want, where they want. So this means a lot to us, and if this is something that you feel is good for you and could benefit you, then reach out to us, let us hook you up. If you have any other questions, reach out to us. But with that being said, let's make some money. So thank you guys, and we'll see you guys on the other side. Peace.